Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Chester County Intermediate Unit Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Liz, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items to share with you. For attendees in this virtual fair, your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. After this session, I will be posting a link in the chat. We invite you to join a breakout room with all of the college representatives that presented this hour. The breakout rooms will last approximately 15 minutes between the end of this session and before the next session begins at the top of the hour. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Chester County. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Alvernia, and take it away.
Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you so much for coming for those of you who are here. My name is Nicholas Blue, and I am an admissions counselor from Alvernia University. We are a private Franciscan institution located in Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm actually covering tonight for my colleague, Sardis Mello, who is the assigned admissions counselor to Chester County. However, I'm here to kind of talk to you a little bit about Alvernia, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them today as well. So a little bit about Alvernia. We are a private Franciscan institution of about 1,500 students located in Reading, Pennsylvania. So from Chester County, that's probably about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on where you are. So it's a pretty reasonable distance from Chester. We're very much known as a school that has a lot of strong programs in health sciences. So if you're thinking nursing, occupational therapy, physician assistant, athletic training, athletic training, occupational therapy, nursing, physical therapy, those are strong programs we have here too. Our largest major is actually nursing, our 4-year Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, as well as new programs in business and communication. Business communication, we also this year have a new engineering program, and we also have our traditional liberal arts majors like English, history, theology, philosophy, all kind of a little bit of everything sort of here we have on campus. So we when I say we were a Franciscan school, what I mean is that we were founded by the Bernardine Franciscan sisters, and they sort of, they have their own little campus on our campus. Only 30% of our students are actually Catholic or practicing Catholic. It is definitely not required to be a Catholic student, but for those that are Catholic, the fact they have the opportunity to attend weekly Mass, we have a 40 hours of community service requirement for all students. So just the idea of, giving back to the community, serving the underserved is kind of our go-to line in the Franciscan tradition. And that's kind of how we try to embody the Alvernia experience. So I really believe that the Franciscan ideals are not just something, the whole idea of Franciscan education really benefits everyone with just, the collegiality aspect and the community service requirement. But we're very hands-on at Alvernia. So I always like to give the example of our nursing program, because when you're a nursing student, you actually come to class with scrubs on and you work with simulated mannequins. So these simulated mannequins, it's a nice way of saying a dummy. These simulated mannequins will react like real patients will, and you'll have to think on your feet and be able to respond to these certain situations as well. And you will start your clinical sophomore year, which is really great because you're getting out in the field earlier and really just having that experience of what it's like to be a nurse in the field. You go to class with scrubs on, you practice what you're going to do in the classroom and then apply it outside of it early on. And we really believe in just as much hands-on learning as possible. If you're thinking engineering, that's really cool too. Our engineering program, it's a brand new program this year. You can start out as an industrial, mechanical, or electrical engineering. And then you don't need to know what you want to do right away. If you want to be on engineering, but you don't, if you're not sure if you want to do which of the 3 tracks, that's fine. You can apply for the engineering program, get accepted, and then by the end of your sophomore year, declare what you want to do. Our business program is really strong as well. In our new building, we have a new downtown building called College Town, and that's going to house engineering. It's going to house the business program. So we're actually having an internship now required for every major, and we have a new we have a new, what's it called? We have a new student-powered business incubator. So students can actually be matched with local businesses. And we've had a student go on to intern with Pepsi and even patent a product. So that kind of shows what it's like to be hands-on as well. In addition, we're a Division III school. If you're thinking sports, 40% of our students play a sport, and usually the athletes do at or even better in the classroom than non-athletes. I think that really having the accountability of a team really helps as well. But we're adding new sports too. So we're adding women's wrestling and esports this year. And next year we are adding rowing, triathlon, and bowling as Division III sports as well. So we're continuing to grow. One of the things I like to point out too is that we were fully in person all last year, despite the pandemic. So everyone came back. We had in-person learning. Unfortunately, the NCAA, they canceled Division III sports in the fall, but the fitness center was open, in-person classes, as much in-person that we could with everyone back and everyone, masked up, and we were very safe. So yeah, I know that I've only got like maybe a minute or so left, but that's kind of, I want to make sure I respect everyone's time. So that's kind of us as School about Alvernia. And if you have any questions, I'm sure I'm missing a lot, but please let me know if you do.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. And now we'll turn it over to King's College.
So good evening, everyone. Thanks, Liz. My name is Jake. I'm one of the admission counselors at King's College in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. So from Chester County, we're only about 2 hours north of there. So if you don't want to be super close to home, but also not super far away, we're kind of right there and ideal for you. So I'm going to share my screen here for us, just so everybody could see a little bit more about King's. So at any point too, I know a lot of you are looking on your phones or your computers, take a screenshot, feel free to write down my information. I'll also throw it into the chat at the end as well too, just to get in contact with me. But just thinking about King's itself, we're located in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Again, not too far from where you are. We're about 2,300 undergraduate students, so not a huge school, which gives us the opportunity to really have a personalized attention for you and your education. Our average class size is about 18 students. I've seen some that are, 10 or less, or some are about 20 to 25, but really it is nice where you have that personalized one-on-one connection with your professor where you're not a number, and that really does make a difference when you're going to your colleges. You really have the opportunity to sit there and be cared about and worried about when, things go wrong, or if things are going great, your professors are there for you no matter what. And that's the nice part about us here. We also have a 99% placement rate. That's within 6 months of graduation. That means that you'll either be in a graduate program if you so choose to do so, or a career as well. We do have that guarantee for our students. Just thinking about some of the majors that we do offer on campus. Our larger majors are our physician assistant program. It's a 5-year master's program, so it's accelerated. Also, our business school, we're AA CSB accredited. It's one of the highest business school accreditations you can get in the country. And then we also offer a wide range of other majors, including some in sports medicine, like our exercise science, or even our athletic training, which is also a 5-year master's program. Cool part about that is that this year for our exercise science students for the fall of 22, we're actually starting to our first cohort of our doctoral of occupational therapy. So our first doctorate program here on campus. So it's really exciting times here at King's. And, if that's something that interested you, you'll be able to get that in about 6 years here at King's. We also have civil and mechanical engineering here on our campus. But in addition to that, we also have engineering agreements with Washington University, which is out in St. Louis, Missouri, and then also Notre Dame, because Notre Dame University is one of our sister schools. We are a Catholic institution here at King's, but that does not have anything to do with your acceptance to the college. If you are, great. If not, great. Only about 50% of our students identify as Catholic. The other 50% identify as other denominations or no denomination at all. It's really what we use to help guide our students, and also in our educational philosophies. Like in our liberal arts, our nursing program, we have a bunch of pre-tracks as well too, including even pre-law, pre-veterinary, pre-optometry. So then, you always want to know where your school is, what it will bring you in that area, if they have your major, but then also what are they going to do for you extracurricular wise. So we have 50 different clubs and organizations on our campus. So you have everything from student government to your American Red Cross Club, where if you really wanted to, you could help run the blood drives on campus. In addition to that, we have 28 NCAA D3 teams, and then we have tons of community service opportunities throughout the year. Our students are doing community service even currently right now. I know a lot of our RAs, now that it gets cold, do a lot of clothing and warm clothes drives in our residence halls as well. So there are opportunities for you if that's something that you're looking for in your college experience. And all of our first-year students are eligible to park on campus. So just thinking about applying to King's, our application is open. We do accept the Common App and our own application. It really is what you prefer. If you've already started the Common App for other schools, you could add us in. If not, you could always use our own application. And then just thinking about, what goes into decisions, at least when we're looking at them. As a counselor, I'll be the first set of eyes to look at your application. We also look at your transcripts. So of course, you got to make sure you request that from your guidance office at school. We are SAT and ACT optional at King's. Now, if you wanted to submit them, feel free to do so. That's okay. That's totally up to you. But it's not, there's nothing there that's going to really make or break your decision. So if that's something where you struggle with standardized tests, that's okay. You can always still apply into King's and still be accepted without them. And then about 2 letters of recommendation. I always try to say, at least if you're in a sport, a coach, maybe a teacher, a guidance counselor, if you have the opportunity to have a job right now or community service opportunities, get someone like that to write one for you as well. Again, they're all going to have different facets and be able to explain different activities that you've done with them. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be that same conclusion that they'll all be able to come to, which is nice. Again, we're looking at the strength of your schedule, your grades, if you have a rank in your class, extracurricular involvement, and then your college essay. Admission interviews, we don't have anything on campus that is a formal sit-down interview. That's where I bring us to this next slide here, where just, the experience of coming to visit King's. If you come and visit with us, or you have already, that really counts as one of your admission interviews. As long as you have the opportunity to have a session like this one-on-one with a counselor, we do count that as your interview. But you'll have the opportunity to come up and just like there, how you see the student with the striped shirt, she's giving tours to our families on campus for special events. You can come up Monday through Friday and also get a tour from our students as well. You'll be able to see our campus. You'll get into the residence hall, into the dining halls. You'll get into our gym. You'll be able to meet with faculty, staff, and students. If you want to meet with a professor from that specific major you're choosing, all you got to do is let us know. We'll make sure we make it work for you. So you do have that opportunity there. And then at the end of the day too, see what the next steps are to going forward from there as well. So again, I thank you all for joining us tonight. I'll turn it over to the next person and I'll throw my information into the chat for you.
Thank you, Jake from King's College. And now we'll turn it over to Juniata College.
Thank you for having me. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. My name is Zakira Watts, and I am the admissions counselor at Juniata College. So today in our presentation, I'm going to talk a little about campus life, student life, organizations, and kind of what the Juniata campus experience is like. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So first and foremost, to start off, we are a small but mighty campus. I like to say that. We're an undergraduate class of about 1,400 students, but we are located on a beautiful picturesque campus of about 110 acres, as well as some neighboring nature observatories of about 315 acres. We have a lot of environmental science and STEM majors that utilize these areas a lot for research and game research. So again, a very small but mighty community. Overall, 1,400 students. We have a very big partnership with our study abroad programs. We have study abroad on over 6 different continents except Antarctica, in 30 different countries, in 35 different states. Again, kind of going back to the idea of a very small, close-knit community. We're very big on global engagement and acknowledging the fact that, education takes place inside and outside the classroom. So our small faculty, 11-to-1 student-faculty ratio is extremely important for us. I'm going to touch base a bit about why that's so important to us. Being as at Juniata, we do not have majors, we have POEs. So while you will graduate and matriculate with a typical bachelor's degree, we don't like to use the term major because we feel like it is very narrow and small encompassing. We like to use the term program of emphasis because it's essentially this idea that you are able to create and design your own education plan here. And essentially with that, you're given 2 faculty advisors to work with and kind of doctor a program that best suits your educational needs and goals. We have a lot of students that are interested in STEM, biology, chemistry on the pre-med track, but they have other interests as well, maybe public health, social justice. And it's really about acknowledging the fact that all of these different pieces are interconnected. So how do we best create an education plan that best fits for our students? And kind of going along, why do we do that? We really understand the importance of interdisciplinary education, right? The idea that learning doesn't just take place in the classroom, it takes place outside of the classroom. So at Juniata, we're very big on experiential learning. Over 70% of our population does some type of internship. Over 50% of our population studies abroad. A lot of opportunities within your first year to do research with different faculty and alum. And because we are such a close-knit community, there are very many opportunities to work with different people in the community at local hospitals and work with different alumni to find other internships that are available. I think another good key piece about Juniata, again, is kind of going back to that idea about support, right? We want you to have an education plan that best suits you and is, meeting all of obviously your course curriculum requirements to be most marketable post-graduation, but we also really care about you being pushed to limits that you never thought that you could accomplish and achieve. So we're really big on that idea of experiential learning, community-based learning, and trying to create a community not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. And we've found that 96% of our graduates do so in fewer than 4 years. So we have a lot of students that are currently taking on our new 3+1 programs, as well as our 4+4 programs. 90% of our graduates are employed or in graduate school within the next 6 months. And another amazing thing too is that a lot of our medical school programs, we have 100% acceptance rate currently into law school, 97% acceptance rate into dental school, and 98% acceptance rate into medical school. Because within the first years, we're really pushing students to kind of think about their futures head on and how can we best prepare them for those next avenues. I think another thing to really mention is, again, education doesn't just take place in the classroom. It's about your environment. It's about your community. So we have a lot of fun traditions at Juniata, and I think it's really important to acknowledge the fact that mental health and physical health are such important things. Quickly, Mountain Day is my favorite tradition at Juniata. It's a random day out the year where one faculty picks a random day and class is canceled. We all take a day to the lake, and it's kind of a mental health reprieve day. Again, trying to acknowledge the fact that having support systems and having allies to push you to do your best is truly what's going to push you and bolster you towards success. Other important things to note on campus are the fact that we have over 24 varsity sports. We have over 50 intramural sports, as well as over 85 clubs on campus. So there are always opportunities to be engaged and to be interacting and finding other things to do. I think another key piece to mention along this process is that all of our students are 100% financial guaranteed for merit scholarships. So that last year that looked at about 27,000 to 36,000, and that's completely need-based blind. So 96% of our students receive some type of financial aid. And again, going back to the idea of community support, we understand that this is not a solo journey, and we're truly here to help you and support you along the way. Some key dates to mention are December 1st for early action and January 15th for early action, kind of that mindset of out of sight, out of mind. It gives you the best chance for merit-based scholarships. And we are test optional. We've been test optional for over 3 decades, kind of the mindset of it matters more what you did in 4 years and what it matters that you did for 4 hours on a Saturday. You totally can submit your test scores if you feel like they depict your academic prowess, but you totally don't have to. So that's kind of a bit about Juniata, and my information's on the board. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me.
All right, thank you so much. Now we will turn it over to Laroche University.
Hello, how are you guys? So let me just pull this up real quick. Now I know we're not at Laroche, but I still want to welcome you to our university. This is just kind of like an overall drone picture of us. Not sure why that's not working. Anyways, right, Laroche was founded by a congregation of sisters of the Divine Providence in 1963. We're a French school. I don't know if you could have tell with the fleur-de-lis. We are, in the matters of our student body, we have 36 different countries in representation. Our In our campus, we represent 19 different states, including Puerto Rico and the United States Virgin Islands. Those are, of course, territories. There are 1,200 students, and our ratio between student and faculty is 12:1. We have 66 undergraduate programs of studies. We have dance, criminal justice, graphic design, and interior design. And those are kind of one of our, or a couple of our biggest ones. These are some of the awards that we've been given just within the past year. One thing we like to talk about is the Laroche experience and how it fosters global citizenship and empowers students to become lifelong learners. And what that really means is just that, like other universities, we also like to think that, you know, you learn everything in the classroom, but also out of the classroom. And one way we do that is through our Study Abroad and Study USA programs. We actually have week-long ones where you'll be gone for part of, let's say, like a break or winter break. And we do have even semester-long ones where you'll stay at our campus in Italy. And you can do what some people that I know stay over, you know, each weekend a different country, which is completely possible in Europe, just because, great example, if you were to be in Germany, the drive to Italy is only 3 hours. So that's pretty much driving from Pittsburgh to West Virginia. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that with that much space and time, you're 100% able to move and learn everything that you need to. 94% of our graduates find employments going on to either graduate school, military service, or work within the year of graduating at Laroche. I, for one, am a great example of that. I am a recent graduate. Now I am a freshman admissions counselor for my alma mater, which is Laroche. These are just some of the places that some of our students and alumni have either intern or work at currently. I actually have a friend who currently works for American Eagle in the Human Resources Department. I have a friend who works for Pittsburgh Steelers, actually. She's a graphic designer. And one thing I do love to highlight about Laroche is that our residence halls are actually quite spacious. You're not really sharing any bathroom with an entire floor. It's more so you and another roommate. And a great example, actually, that desk in the middle of the picture on the top left, you've got a solid, I think it's 12 feet of space. No, well, it's very spacious. Our Sage dining services, there's a cafeteria that we hold where it's like a buffet style meal. Then we have a little smaller kind of sheets where it's like grab and go. You get to order on this kiosk, or even we have an app where you can actually grab it and go into your classroom or your the next thing on your list of today. We have 30 plus student clubs and organizations, and it's forever growing. We have a very easy onboarding process. If you wanted to build a new club or a new organization, the only thing you really need is just 10 signatures and a staff member to sign, and then you're officially a club. And then we have a vibrant student life. Of course, this is also before COVID, right? We had state champs at one point. We had we kind of make these big concerts over the spring and make it a big event on campus. After or before state champs, we had Max. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's a pretty popular artist now. We are a Catholic university, but I like to say we're Catholic with a little c. So it's not, I know it's not a major part of your curriculum. It more so shows you where we came from and how we got here. We do have service learning opportunities, and those are a little bit more frequent. We have helped in the past with Hurricane Katrina, and I'm trying to think other major disasters in Puerto Rico. Just because we do have like a nunnery house in Puerto Rico, and we help them down there, and in any way we can, both with students, teachers, staff. I mean, the whole campus gets involved in these when times get hard. We are a Division III athletics team. We have basketball, golf, baseball for men, and then women. They're there. Don't know why I read it off. Then now I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Pittsburgh area. But we are on a good day. Now I say this on a good day. We're about 15-minute drive down to Pittsburgh. Then our neighborhood, just right across campus, is called McCandless Crossing. Movie theater, restaurants, shopping center. It's just this big place where students are actually able to even have a nice stable balance between work and studying. All of the owners of these shops do understand that most of their employees go to Laroche and study. So we kind of give that as them to be like they have the ability to do both. Then that's it. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. And now we'll turn it over to Misericordia University.
Hi, so my name is Nick. I'm from Misericordia University. We're located in Dallas, PA. Dallas is just about 10 minutes north of Wilkes-Barre. So let me just get moving. There we go. All right, so we were founded in 1924 by the Sisters of Mercy. The two big things that we started off doing, so our area up in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, is very much like a coal area. So that's what we were known for about 100 years ago. So when the Sisters of Mercy, they settled down and decided that what are some of the things that the area truly needed, and they settled on two. It was nursing and it was teaching. So between the medical field and the teaching field, we have been doing those for almost 100 years now, and we're really, really renowned for a lot of our health sciences. And not just those as well, but we have three major sections of different things that we possibly offer. So between like the College of Business, we have accounting, business administration. We also do go beyond just some of our four-year degrees as well. Business administration is something we offer as a master's as well. And you can see there through the colleges of science and education. Some of our big notable ones, as I mentioned, was nursing. Other ones are occupational therapy, speech language pathology, our physical therapy program. Our physical therapy program is a really cool one because that's a 6.5-year direct entry track. And what that means is once you start with us, your seat is with us and you get to go the entire 6.5 years without having to worry about getting a placement at a different college or anything like that. And at the end of it, you walk away with your doctorate of physical therapy. But the cool thing with that is we have a list of basically just majors such as biology, biochemistry, a few business ones that you use as your undergrad as well. And then obviously we have other stuff like government law, national security, a little pre-law, stuff like that. So we're extremely well-rounded. The cool thing with Misericordia is that we're a small to medium-sized school. As you can see there on the bottom, our student-faculty ratio is 10-1. We have about 1,700 undergrad students, and that's a really good thing because for students looking to kind of stay on the smaller end, you get to meet a tremendous amount of people, but it's enough that no one's up in your business either, which is kind of nice. As you can see there on the bottom, also our average class size is about 19. So beyond our classroom, we also have several different research fellowships as well as our alternative learners program. So if you're a student with a disability, we have an entire office, our OSD office, that takes care of that. We have study abroad in the way as well, and as well as our honors program, which offers different seminars and a couple harder classes as well for those students looking to challenge themselves. And one of the things I really like talking about is our guaranteed placement program. So we are so confident in what we offer and how we prepare you for the future that we will tell you that you can get a job placement within a year. And if you're not able to do that, that us as the university will help you gain a paid internship as well. So that's kind of one of those things where we recognize where maybe your student loans, they're coming up, and I mean, 6 months after is 6 months after. We totally get that. So one of the things that we're very proud to offer is our guaranteed placement program, because we want to make sure that all of our students not only are successful in our classrooms, but successful after they leave our doors as well. And then we also have our service learning courses. And we also have 26 Ncaa Division III sports. We go across all things. Our baseball team has won 10 conference championships recently. Our women's soccer team is currently nationally ranked. We're also looking towards the future with stuff like esports, where we offer Hearthstone, Rocket League, and League of Legends. We also have a tremendous amount of different intramurals that we offer, as well as, because we're Catholic University, we also offer plenty of service trips and ways to help around the community as well. So a little bit about us and our admissions process. We're rolling admissions, and that's kind of a two-parter. The first part is just rolling admissions itself, is you can apply to us whenever you wish. So if you're sitting right now and you're thinking, well, you know what, this weekend is really hard, that's okay. So if you're looking for business administration and you're thinking, you know, I'm just trying to get to Christmas break, that's totally fine. We're more than happy to take your application. The second part of that is with our health sciences, because so many of those health sciences are capped by the state of Pennsylvania. So for example, our physical therapy program has 60 seats. My recommendation is always to apply early. Just don't want to see any students get waitlisted, and they do waitlist every year. We do have nationally competitive programs, and we get a lot of students who are very interested in us. So that's definitely one of those things where I say apply very much earlier. We accept the Common App, and we have an online portal as well. Cool thing for us too is no application fee. And speaking of things that we're also not looking for, we're not looking for SATs or ACTs either. We are completely test blind this year. And just kind of one of the cleanup facts is I'll always tell students who are applying, just make sure to have your transcripts sent over by your school counselor. In terms of our scholarships and financial aid, we do offer a merit scholarship based anywhere from $5,000 to $17,000 a year. And that is purely based on your GPA. For anyone dorming, we also offer a $2,500 scholarship as well. And if you know an alumni, that also banks you about $500 a year as well. And we also have a thing called Legacy Award, where if mom, dad, grandma, grandpa had also come to Misericordia University, that we're willing to give you an additional scholarship as well. I'd just like to tell you to keep in touch. My name is Nick Zelznak, not John McGovern, as on the bottom. You can always reach me at my email there. I'll also put it into the chat as well. So thank you very much. And like I said, I'm from Misericordia University, and we'd be happy to have you.
Thank you, Nick. And now we have a little bit of time. So I'm going to share my screen again, because I would love for you all to be able to share your responses to some of these questions with our attendees this evening. So the first question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And if you would like to contribute, we'll go in the same order that you presented. So Nicholas from Alvernia, if you have any feedback, that'd be great.
Absolutely, yeah. So what I always tell students just going through the college search process is, I mean, the first bit of advice is you have to visit campus. You know, right now, a lot of us are, and most of us actually are traveling to high schools to meet with you in your high school. And I always tell students, it's great that I'm getting to meet you and get to know you in the setting you're in school in, and that I'm right here, but nothing beats coming to visit campus. So go to a handful, maybe half a dozen campuses and schools that you are thinking about, with, you know, programs that you want to have in a campus. You know, if you want to go more than, you know, you also only go to schools if you want to go to school like more than 2 hours from home, then only look for schools there, because if you know you're not going to like being close to home, then, you know, that kind of narrows your search down, takes a lot of stress away. So I would just recommend doing that to start with, is to visit and kind of know your preferences in that sense. And then just I would also say use this as a resource too. Your admissions counselors are here to help you. So I tell my students, I'm always available. If you have questions about how good the dining hall food is, or what kinds of things you do at Alvernia on the weekends, like we're here as a resource for you, so that you can make the best decision possible on your in your college search. And so that's what I really think is important is that you ask honest questions and you use this as a resource. Those are a couple bits of advice I have.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. And Jake, did you have anything you'd like to share?
Sure. I echo a lot of what Nick said. That was definitely some awesome advice. I would definitely also say too, do your research when it comes to your schools. If it comes down to the major and you want to know exactly the jobs that you can get from there, or again, there's so much that goes into choosing that college decision, because again, a lot of times it is going to be for the next 4 years of your life. So you want to make sure you're making that a positive decision later on. So I definitely say, research the school, research the area, then definitely come and visit. That's a really big important part about it as well. And then, continue to stay in touch with everybody, even if it's professors you meet on campus. If they give you your card and you're walking past their office, use it, because they really want to help you and they want to make sure that they can help you along that process.
Thank you. Zakira, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I echo the sentiment of everyone that's in the chat thus far. I definitely say, sorry, it was off. I definitely say it's really important to think about your non-negotiables, right? Think about some things that are really important for you as you're looking at what are the values that you're looking for your institution, the class sizes, the community that you're surrounding yourself with, the surrounding area. What are some of the things the students say about the faculty, sitting on a class, sitting on campus environment, and really, like everyone says, visit campus, but really acknowledge the fact that you are in the driver's seat for this process. And as much as, colleges are looking at interviewing you, you have every right to ask these institutions of what you are looking for. So really make sure that you're looking for some of your non-negotiables and really, stick steadfast with some of the things that you're looking for.
Fantastic. And Jeremy, did you have anything you'd like to add?
I mean, other than echoing everybody else, like really, it's just like she said, you're in the driver's seat. You're taking in charge. We're just here to help you out.
And Nick from Misericordia?
I'd actually really like to go back to what Zakira said. It was the non-negotiables are absolutely key, but also beyond that, go to a school that kind of visit a whole bunch of schools. Find one that feels like home away from home. It's definitely kind of what somebody else had said. It's 4 years of your life. Surround yourself by the people that are going to help you be successful. And not only that, happy as well. So definitely go on those college visits and just kind of really get a feel for where you feel at home.
Fantastic. And I think we do have time for another question. So I'm going to go to the next one. And what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? And we'll start with you again, Nicholas from Alvernia.
Definitely. I think when I think of Alvernia, I think it's a school that's incredibly hands-on. I think we believe that, you can't just go into a career. You need to go into it with hands-on experience. And I think that, just with our small classes and our hands-on learning, whether you're a nursing major and you're working with mannequins in the classroom before you go out to start your clinicals, even there, or you're in education, you want to, you do role playing in the classroom before you go out to field work and then student teaching. I think it's super critical to know that about Alvernia is that we really believe in a hands-on experience. Hands-on learning even translates to the fact that we have a community service requirement. You have to complete 40 hours within the course of 4 years. This can be completed whether or not you choose to go to, some students complete this 40 hours entirely by doing an alternative spring break trip and going to Kentucky and building homes for Habitat for Humanity, or you can go do potato picking for 5 hours of the 40, or you can do ESL work with the Bernadine Sisters in downtown Reading. I just think that there's a lot of ways to really be hands-on at Alvernia, and whether that translates to, that those experiences not only in the classroom and out will help you not only really be successful in your career, but as a person too. I think that, more and more we're spending a lot more time at work, and a lot of who we are, it's important to not only just be a strong professional, but also to be, a good person and one who gives back and is servant-hearted and humble. And I think that we really kind of help educate the whole person in that sense too, as well as just there's so many opportunities at a school this small, and a school that is also continuing to grow and expand itself. So that's what I would say about us.
Thank you. Jake, what about King's College?
So one thing I want you all to kind of remember and think about is one word: family. And that's who we are at King's. I'm a 2020 graduate of King's, so I could definitely speak to this, firsthand. It really is the place where, no matter if it's the small class sizes, if you're at a football game and you see the president of the college there giving you a high five, it really is a place where we want to be together. We want to help one another. When it's your toughest of days, there's going to be somebody, if it's a faculty staff, or it could be someone working in our dining hall. They're going to be there to pick you up and make your day better. And when it's the best days, they're going to still be there to help, support you and cheer you on to that next adventure that you're going to. So really, I want you guys, anything you would ever think about with King's, just remember the word family. You come to visit us on campus. I always say to our families, welcome to our family. Even if you don't decide to come to King's, we're still a part of your journey, and you're a part of our journey, no matter if we're in the Office of Admission or wherever we are. We really want to make sure that we hone in that that's what we're about here at King's.
Thank you. Zakira from Juniata?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing at Juniata is going to kind of be that support piece, right? I think we are very big on empowering our students. I mean, the ability to be able to design your own education plan, to not just kind of be boxed into the ideas of, okay, well, I want to be a biologist, but I really am interested in business and communication, and being able to kind of design an education plan that fits for you with the support of your faculty advisors and the support of your community, right? So kind of going back to that idea of support, we truly want you to succeed, and we want you to feel like you're never alone in any of these situations, whether it's studying abroad, internships, working with all the alumni in the community, since we are such a small knit community. I think remembering that we are a support system, and a cheesy quote is, we don't like to say no. So we are always trying to find opportunities for students to push themselves and grow. So definitely the idea of support.
Thank you very much. And Jeremy from Laroche?
One thing I'd say, that kind of separates Laroche from everybody else, and one thing that kind of gives us our big name is that we're at like a spot in Pittsburgh where you're able to do work, you're able to study, and you're still able to think about your future, and kind of just slowly throughout the 4 years build your own, build yourself up into the professional that you want to be.
Thank you. And last but not least, Nick from Misericordia.
For Misericordia, we want you to be successful. And we have a whole bunch of different ways in terms of that, in terms of like our 10-to-1 faculty, like with our students, that their doors are always open. We have our Student Success Center, which is peer-on-peer tutoring. I mentioned before we had 1,700 students. Over 1,000 of them used our Student Success Center and were able to help themselves in terms of their grades. We're top 10 for private universities in terms of graduation rates in 4 years. We are so concerned and willing to help our students out with becoming successful. And that's, to me, kind of the big thing. And then a smaller side thing as well, I shouldn't say smaller, but our community as well. It's one of those things where people hold doors open for each other. We have several different students who go out of their way to help others through some of our service projects, and as well as just our community base as a whole. We just had homecoming, and one of our big things was a talent show. And it was one of those things where we have 500 kids and the place erupted every single time, no matter how good or bad the act was. And we have a killer community here at Misericordia.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight, to all of the attendees out there. When you close this window, there will be a link to complete a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning, from now until the top of the hour when the next session starts, you can join the college reps who presented this hour and chat with them in a breakout room. I'm going to place the link to that breakout room in the chat, so you can access that and feel free to chat individually with these institutions until the top of the hour. You'll also be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings, at strivescan.com/Chester County. Thank you for attending, everyone. Have a great evening.